Greetings, viewers, and welcome back to Just Short of Fantastic. I was going to do something fun and upbeat for March, but then I got COVID. So welcome back to part 8 of the We're Okay COVID-19 series, except as you can clearly hear from my voice, we're not okay. My housemate and I got COVID, and it's been pretty awful. As you can tell from my voice, I am still not recovered. I am fortunate in that I now have a job where I work from home, so I was able to continue working because while it is a job that I can do from home, unfortunately it's a contract job, which means I don't have any sick days. So fortunately, I was able to continue working. It was not fun though. But I did it. I think the worst is over. I'm actually going to walk you through the symptoms that I was feeling for the 5 days of the main illness. So I guess COVID is a working virus because it showed up on Monday. When I got the vaccinations, I felt slight facial numbness. So that was one of my first symptoms that let me know, like, oh yeah, this is the Rona. The facial numbness, I got a bad headache, I had a sore throat, I had mucus on that first day. It was clear to yellow. I'm a big proponent of watching your mucus colors. If that's something that's a bit ick for you, maybe don't watch the rest of this video, but it's part of the body. It's just something you should be watching, the colors of your mucus, or your humors, as they used to say in the good old days of medieval age medicine. I do want to rest my voice and I want to get this done as quickly as possible. So, first day, facial numbness, headache, sore throat, mucus, clear to yellow. But then towards the end of the day into the night, I started really feeling the fever and the chills. That was probably the worst part of that first day, was the chills and the hot flashes. Trying to sleep was not pleasant. But then the fever really ramped up. It kicked itself into high gear on Tuesday. I took my temperature and it was 38.4 degrees. I looked it up. Apparently, if you get to 39.4 degrees, that's when you're supposed to go to the hospital. Luckily, it didn't get that high. A couple hours later, I took it again and it had gone down to 37.4. So, relief. Still chills, really bad headaches, the sore throat, mucus was solidly yellow on the second day. Also, fun thing that happened Tuesday morning was the vomiting, or at least my body was trying to vomit, but there was really nothing to bring up, so it was just a lot of dry heaving, which we all know is the funnest thing ever. And that's when the cough really started as well on the second day. Into day 3. Was much better in terms of that the fever had burned itself out, so that was nice. But I had a slight headache and I had a really extremely sore throat. Day 3 is when the sore throat really kicked itself into high gear and I didn't have a voice and my mucus was now yellow to red. I was having a really bad dry cough, coughing, trying to clear out the mucus, which was triggering my gag reflex, so I was vomiting to clear out the mucus. That was really awful, as anybody knows. And then also I had noticed that my sense of taste was going off. I haven't eaten anything yet today, so I don't know if it's back. Day 4, starting to feel much better. I only had a mildly sore and itchy throat. The itchiness was weird. Not sure about that. My mucus was more back to yellow. I still had a really bad dry cough. It was probably the worst day, actually. It was day 4 for the dry cough. There were times when I was coughing so hard, I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I was very concerned about that. Also, fun thing, so my symptoms started Monday. Monday night into Tuesday is when my period decided to start, which was great because it wasn't supposed to start until Friday. There is nothing worse than wanting to just lay in your bed, for 10 hours, but knowing you have to get up every 3 to 4 so you don't bleed into your sheets. Anyway, and occasional headaches on day 4. And then we finally came to day 5, Friday. I woke up feeling better. Like, obviously I was progressing positively. That was great. But I still had a lot of congestion in my chest and my sinuses. My nose was hurting from blowing it so much. My mucus was still yellow with a bit of red in it. I still had a really bad cough, and my voice was really weak. And of course, I had constant fatigue and headaches. So those were the 5 days of my COVID-19 symptoms experience. I'm hoping my sense of taste doesn't remain off forever because I really like food. Don't get COVID-19. It has been 3 years. 3 years since the appearance of COVID-19, and I have been so careful. But I finally got it. Knock on wood, fingers crossed that I never get it again, although I know it is very possible to get it again, but I'm really hoping I don't, because once was enough. It was awful. It wasn't all awful. I mean, while I was lying in bed at night, I did a deep dive into Sondheim. I watched 2 different productions of Company, the 2006 and the 2011 one. The 2011 one was quite delightful with Neil Patrick Harris and Stephen Colbert. Surprise Stephen Colbert! Like, I didn't know that he was in Company. If I'd known that, I would have watched it years ago. I love Stephen Colbert. But anyway, that was delightful, but I really preferred the 2006 version. If you watch both of them, you can probably tell why. I really like the concept behind the 2006 one. Highly recommend it if you're a musical fan. Also, I watched the original cast PBS recording of Into the Woods, which is on YouTube as well, and it is phenomenal. Like, I can't believe I watched the movie with Meryl Streep like 8 years ago, and like, I thought it was fine, but now that I've seen the actual stage production, I can't believe I waited 8 years to watch the stage production, because it is so much better than the Disney movie adaptation. So if you're a big fan of musicals and you've never seen the original Into the Woods, I highly recommend that. And that's where I'm going to leave you. So stay safe, stay healthy. Until next time, stay just short of fantastic.